I think that the topic of strengthening self-esteem has been addressed very often nowadays. But when it comes to Muslims, it is usually assumed that most Muslims know what they are worth and what their role in life is. I can only say from my own experience that even though you are a Muslim, it is not always the case that you know what you are worth. That's why this video is dedicated to the topic of strengthening self-worth. And I will insert in the description box a free guide for you with 7 steps how to strengthen your self-worth, and I hope you will enjoy it. What is self-worth actually? It consists of several components. Firstly, knowing who you are. Secondly, knowing what you are capable of. And thirdly, knowing what your goals are. Unfortunately, the reality is that Allah tests us with different people and we accumulate different experiences in life that shape us as a person. And the more often an experience is repeated and the more often we feel this feeling, the more we believe that. These experiences define us as a person. These experiences and feelings can be positive, but they can also be negative as well. And as humans, we are created in such a way that we want to avoid problems in life and therefore focus more on the negative experiences, although we should actually focus more on the positive things. What negative experiences can a person have so that their self-esteem is low or non-existent? These can be bad experiences with friends, in school or teachers, bad experience in the family, difficult times that you have lived through. They form beliefs in our minds that have been communicated to us by these experiences or by people who have judged us. The fact is, however, that these experiences have not given us the opportunity to listen to ourselves and know who we really are and what we really want. The only thing we had to do is to prove that we are not like these beliefs were not true about ourselves. And if you're always busy proving to other people who you are and who you're not, you fail to really recognize what you want or don't want in your life. If you don't feel worthy or your self-worth isn't strong enough, then I have a few points for you that can help you to strengthen your self-worth again. Firstly, you have to understand that you are the only one who can change how you feel. You need to know that nobody can change you except yourself. You need to understand. I always thought maybe I need to experience something that changed me from the inside. But if I'm honest, I had so many beautiful moments in my life, but the reality is, the times when I don't feel good, I can see that my worth is still on the same level. Experiences can't change how you see yourself on the inside. No person can change you. My husband couldn't change me even though he tried. The point is, you have to decide to change. You have to decide to work on your self-worth again. I was my own enemy. When I think about my self-worth, I often remember my school days. I allowed them to minimize my self-worth. But when you recognize these things, allow yourself to deal with them with compassion. We didn't know any better before. But today, you and I, we got the chance from Allah to open our eyes to the fact that we need to work on our self-worth. And it is an obligation to work with yourself with compassion. We don't need another judge. You are your own enemy. I know you are hoping for others to see and encourage you, but they can say so many positive things about you if you don't start thinking positively about yourself and have the will to really change. You will always stay in the same place. It's you against yourself. And to make this fight a positive one, you have to be absolutely honest with yourself. Secondly, get to work and write down all the bad things you think about yourself or others say about you. I know this part is very hurtful, but honestly, a problem can only be solved if you face it. The thing is, we always distract our mind with something to avoid to hear these bad thoughts about us. The subconscious mind is always reminding and trying to get our attention. The scrolling on TikTok, the Netflix watching is just a symptom of avoiding our thoughts. And that's why you should stop distracting yourself, sit down and write down everything you don't like about yourself, no matter how much it hurts. Thirdly, once you've written everything down, the real work begins now. Read the first sentence and close your eyes. Imagine the situation where you felt like that. What exactly happened there? Were you really to blame, or was it the others who made you feel so bad? Do this with every sentence and write down the thoughts that come to your mind. Not everything will work right away. If you really want to change, you need to repeat this process and be honest with yourself. Fourthly, travel back in time. You have now written down all the negative things that people say about you or that you say to yourself. Now imagine that you are standing in front of your little you, the little child that had to endure everything. Could you tell a child all the bad things you have written down? Would you talk to a child like that in order to help him to change? I know that the answer is no. If the child really made mistakes, how would you teach him to improve? At this point, you will realize that you have always stood in your own way. Here you realize that you have always been the biggest critique of yourself. You must actually be your best supporter. Can you slowly feel the love you have for yourself here? The empathy that you feel right now for this little you or this little child. This is the self-love you should normally have. Embrace the compassion. Embrace the empathy. Embrace the patience. Face your little self and encourage it. Have a self-talk, even if it's only on the inside. Imagine how you hug and comfort yourself, the little you. No one deserves to be treated bad. And never forget that this little you will always live inside you, no matter how old you are. So treat it with compassion and empathy. Fifthly, challenge your negative beliefs. Are they really true? There will certainly be some that are true, but treat yourself with compassion. Tell yourself, okay, I really need to work on this. But I accept this flaw in myself and I am able to change it. I deserve development. I deserve improvement. And I am the only one who can give myself these things, nobody else. Sixth, practice positive self-talk. It was also very difficult for me to speak positively to myself. I felt like a weirdo, honestly. For example, I read, I am worth of freedom and love. And I felt like, oh my God, I don't deserve that. But the thing is, you have to lie at first. Fake it till you make it. It's very true. In the guide, I will write down some positive sentences that you can read every day when the day begins. If you read the sentences on the beginning of the day, then you can create a positive feeling inside you and the day starts positively. I couldn't accept these statements at first, but the more regularly I lied to myself, the more real it became, and I really believed these positive sentences. In order for us to believe something new, we have to repeat it again and again. This is due to the neural pathways in our brain. They are like pathways that we have already learned by heart. For example, the path to your work or school, all the way back home. But in order to learn new things, we may have to use a navigation system. Use these positive affirmations as a route to learn a new path, the path to your improved self-worth. And there will come a day where you can walk this path by heart. Seventh, allow yourself to treat yourself better. There are many things you can do that will actively increase your self-esteem. Think about what you've always wanted to do, or remember what you used to enjoy doing and haven't done for a long time. Doing something good for yourself also means banishing everything that brings you down from your life. Be brave. Be courageous. I know that fears can sometimes stop you, but remember that you can't be worse off than you are now. You can only get better. Be aware that you have to compete against yourself. You versus you. When I think about the good things I did for myself at the time, it was an incredibly draining education to throw overboard. Some good things I did were that I watched children's series that I loved so much and drink my cup of coffee every morning with the aspect that there are many who don't have such a delicious cup of coffee every morning. Make yourself happy. Don't hide. See yourself as the only person you will spend your whole life with. Remember the most difficult times you have overcome. You overcame them for yourself. This is self-love, and this is where you will truly recognize your true worth. Take this strange with you into the future and let the strange realize your true purpose in life. So that's everything for today. You will find the free guide in the description box. Tell me in the comments if it helped you, and maybe you have some other tips that can help somebody else to improve his self-worth. Thank you for watching this video, and hopefully, inshallah, I will see you on the next one.